I do remember thinking, I've never seen that specific type of curly historical hair from Tommy, and I liked it. And I also thought no one else would have it on their list, and I didn't want this entire list to be Mission Impossible 2, Mission Impossible 4. I've got it higher.
Live from Cool Boys Central.
You the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
Hold your dicks and rub your tits.
You'll be ice cold.
Here come the Cool Boys.
Just a young boy.
So cool.
So cool.
So cool.
Oh, it's Cool Boys.
Greetings, Cool Boy Nation, and welcome to another delightful Dick in My Dick Hole rendition of the Cool Boys Podcast. This episode, we will be talking about hair. Oh, wait, I missed the all there. This episode, we will be talking all about hair. And not my favorite hairs. That would be beautiful baby butt hairs. Okay, you're...
What?
You can't just make me say things like that.
You just did.
We got to James Gunn me, although maybe he's going to get rehired. And not John Travolta's hairs, because we can't talk about it, although we did talk about it.
We did.
Yeah, but not anymore. It's forbidden now. You
Popular
can't go back to it.
No,
Never.
I'm talking about a certain man's hair that makes the fucking so good. I'm talking about my favorite actor, your favorite actor, and her favorite actor. Yes, Tommy Cruise, and all the fabulous hairs he has given us.
Aw, absolutely.
I am the firm Felk.
And that seems appropriate.
I'm born on the 4th of July, Ballard.
Also appropriate, because John Sex was born on the 4th of July.
And you couldn't come up with any Tom Cruise movies that start with N?
No, so there's just, I'm night and day, Noli. God damn it.
Could have
The
been
Curse of
Mission,
the N.
Mission
The Curse of the N.
Impossible.
Yeah, why doesn't N go with anything? I mean,
Or the Nummy.
Yeah,
The Nummy.
The Nummy.
Oh my god, the Nummy returns.
Guys. Night and Day. How bad is that movie?
I've never
It's
seen
not
it.
that bad.
Never seen
Oh,
it.
it's fucking horrible, Ballard.
It's not that bad.
Dude, it is a fucking run-of-the-mill generic piece of shit. And the fact that it
Super
was directed
generic.
and written by James Mangold is even worse.
Never watched it.
Yeah. It's not a great movie by any means. It's not like a horrible movie. It's just literally it's the most down the road action movie. It hits all the beats. I thought the plane crash, if I recall, was good.
I don't remember.
I didn't really enjoy, I guess, Cameron and Tom's
They don't have chemistry.
their
at all.
chemistry.
But
Yeah,
they were
it
in
was- it
Vanilla
was
Sky
lacking.
together, so that was weird.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
a
it-
run-of-the-mill action film. Why were you in that, Tom Cruise? I don't know why.
I think she was just over it, right? I mean, she hasn't acted for a while either.
Oh, Cameron? I was talking about Tom. I don't know why Tom's in that movie. Was that in this period where it was like he was just trying to do something? Like he was kind of like... People thought he was crazy, so he just had to crank out some sort of hit. Maybe thought Cameron Diaz working with her would be like the thing to do.
Look at them. They're back together.
Yeah, it's a shitty film.
Okay, you have written here, so cool boys, Brian Flanagan wants to know, what is everyone drinking? And I had to Google Brian Flanagan, and I don't see him being a Tom Cruise character.
Cocktail.
Well, you're wrong.
Brian Flanagan is an Irish-American former member of the American Radical Left organization Students for a Democratic Society and the Weather Underground organization. He
Yep,
has
that's the
been,
guy.
The FBI's surveillance files on Flanagan report that on October 20th, he was in Algeria to meet with a fugitive Black Panther leader, and has done some shit. I don't know why we're talking about him.
Because he wants to know what we're drinking. No, Felk, I'm talking about Brian Flanagan from Cocktail. You know, Cocktail. That movie.
Cocktail.
Where Tom Cruise is a bartender.
This is the big time. Are you ready for the big time, young Mr. Flanagan?
I think I can handle it.
Brian Flanagan. Okay, well, just know if people Google Brian Flanagan, they will find themselves involved with a radical activist.
Well, my thought process was if you're clicking on this podcast, it's all about Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise fans know who Brian Flanagan is. Obviously, you are not a Tom Cruise super fan.
I've never watched Cocktail.
And you've never watched Night and Day. So, Felk, can we excuse you from this episode?
Okay. Have you seen Mission Impossible Fallout?
Oh,
The most important Tom
shit.
Cruise movie available right now that's been out for 3 weeks now.
I mean, some people do have responsibilities and a family to take care of. You know, we can't just rush out to the theaters every chance you get, unless you're a
Have
Ballard.
you seen every single Tom Cruise movie? You seen Legend? You seen Legend?
Yes.
All right. You seen
There
Legend.
there is a Tom Cruise movie I've never seen. It's called Lions for Lambs.
yeah, I haven't seen it either.
And almost missed Oblivion and almost missed I almost missed Oblivion. I wish I missed Oblivion.
Oh, well, you've mentioned two of my. Well, I can't say it yet.
Your honorable mentions for Tom Cruise's hairs.
Well, okay, Legend. It's all right. Legend's not a great movie. It's
good Tom Cruise hair though.
it's like a weak Cruise film because it's barely about like Tom Cruise essence, and it's more about this little fairy boy, and I don't mean fairy like the critter. And I also think that it's like it's kind of just a really run of the mill Ridley Scott film. It's not really good.
I haven't seen Rock of Ages.
I haven't seen that either.
Lions for Lambs or American Made yet.
American Made is awesome, fucking awesome.
No one of you
American
seen all
Made's
those
great.
films? Oh,
American
okay.
Made is great.
You seen Rock of Ages?
I did see Rock of Ages.
Okay.
All right. Now, what was it that you ordered?
So Brian Flanagan wants to know that important question, guys. We never even answered it. So what are you guys drinking?
I forgot about that.
I'm drinking, goodness gracious, great fireballs of fire. I'm drinking Fireball. See, and I tied it
Yes.
to Tom Cruise.
A reference to Top Gun. Nice, Felk. Nice. Fireball again, but is it in a
very
glass
good.
with ice?
It's in a glass with a ball, so I'm doubly balling.
Oh, so nice.
Felk, what am I drinking?
You're drinking red wine.
Oh, that's not correct, Felk. Tonight I am drinking, in honor of Tom Cruise, an old-fashioned, little bit of bitters, little bit of simple syrup, and some Maker's Mark with an ice cube.
Is that even mentioned in cocktail? Old fashions?
No, it's not.
Because I've been drinking a Cuba Libre.
I've had one of those on the show in past episodes.
Well, I managed to tie mine to Tom Cruise loosely.
You did.
And Ballard, sir?
I am drinking white wine.
Is it on ice? Is it on the rocks?
Nope, it's just wine in a
In a
glass.
Scotch glass.
A white wine.
White wine.
Well, that's a delicious and exciting thing there. Noli confession. Noli has one.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, no.
My
you have a
confession.
don't you?
My confession was I hated Night and Day. Oh no, guys, I have a confession. Well, it's not really a confession. But what is the worst Tom Cruise movie?
Haven't we already discussed this on the Tom Cruise episode?
Yeah, The Mummy. I think it might be The Mummy.
Probably The Mummy. That I've seen,
yeah.
probably The Mummy.
For listeners who are just joining us now, yes, it might be The Mummy. The Mummy is a horrible film.
And go back, listeners, and please go listen to episode 35, Top Buns, a Tom Cruise Boner Fest, because that is a great episode as well. All about Tom Cruise.
Just like this one.
Top 5 Tom Cruise movies, but this one's a little different.
Okay, hold on. There's a Noli confession and a Ballard question, but what does Felt get?
Nothing.
Oh,
I have an update?
You didn't put it in the
It
document.
is completely relevant. It's completely relevant.
Felt, you didn't put it in the document, so nobody knew you had an update. So don't just chastise us over here.
No, I'm not chastising you. I'm just trying to
It
get
sounds
in.
like you're chastising me.
Oh, I'm not chastising you. I enjoyed Mission Impossible 6 so much, I rewatched every single Mission Impossible movie. Even had to rent most of them on Amazon.com. And, you're right. Rogue Nation, with more investment in those characters, because
Yes.
I know they would come back knowing that Ilsa Faust was no longer a one-off character. That's not a spoiler. She's in the next one. It's in the trailers. Is that I enjoyed it a lot more. I was way more invested, and I think I was just maybe on my phone or whatever, and not really fully appreciating the fact that it goes from the underwater sequence to Tom's dead. Tom comes back alive. Then he's in a car chase, crashes. Then is in a motorcycle chase.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
Really sick motorcycle chase.
That is a hardcore 20-25 minutes of cinema right there. Like, just action-packed. I love it.
Which, Noli, you called, by the way. I mean, before we ever did the episode, because, the movie came out before we made the show. But, Noli, you called in our text message thread that after that water sequence, you figured that it was going to be a crazy car chase, motorcycle chase, based on the shit we've seen in the trailers, and you were fucking dead right about that.
Oh. Well, I am dead right about a lot of things.
You were also dead right about Star Wars: The Last Jedi that Luke was going to die.
I'm right about a
lot of things.
I'm right about a lot of things.
Don't be racist against Asians.
Oh, you know when that Lexus or Toyota specifically, when they were looking to start a buying up a massive luxury brand, they were considering Rolls-Royce, and they turned it down because they could not pronounce the R's and L's.
Rolls-Royce, yeah. Oh my God. Amazing.
The executives couldn't. Okay. My other update related is while watching these films, because I was invested, but I mean, I've seen Mission Impossible so many times. I was on the laptop, but I wanted to know a little more about the firearms usage in those movies. What type of gun does Ethan Matthew Hunt?
Wow, that's a fucking... That's
an
crazy.
old reference.
That's an old reference.
That is his full name.
Was it on purpose?
No, no, it wasn't. I was just trying to remember his middle name because he says it in the third one.
James.
Not that name has any significance to Felk. Anyways, so I found out about the Internet Movie Firearms Database, and I knew about the car one, but there's an Internet Movie Firearms Database that just like catalogs every firearm in a movie, and even kind of reviews about the accuracy from them. And it was really interesting because I just went down a loophole and started like reading. I wanted to know like the guns used in every movie, and of course the popular ones, like Batman Begins and all those are like the most detailed. But it also kind of gives a little bit of like. Since movies are typically about action heroes, whether or not they're using their guns correctly, and when they mention the name of a gun, whether or not it really is accurate or it's just a fucking replica or a different type of gun. Turns out a movie that's very inaccurate about firearm usage, The Rock, and a movie that's very inaccurate. Was The Rock. I was shocked by that. Like people are saying the wrong names for guns. People are loading guns that are already loaded or cocking back guns that are already cocked and
yeah,
whatever.
I just watched that recently, and I was picking up on that. There were a lot of inaccuracies with weapons and firearms.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, though, the Mission Impossible series, at least 2 onward, very accurate.
Really?
Yeah. Tom really. Everything he does, especially when he's actually explaining how to use a gun in 3 to when he's got the migraine thing.
Yeah, that was an awesome scene.
That's an awesome scene. Everything he says is like spot on and perfect and accurate about like how to like immediately quickly explain to someone how to use a gun. I was kind of interested like that like found that.
I'm gonna rewatch that scene.
That Tom doesn't do anything because gun wrong in terms of guns. He gets it all correct. And while other actors, Nicolas Cage in every Nicolas Cage action movie, especially apparently Face Off, is just guns, pew 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 pew.
Face Off. John Woo handed Nicolas Cage 3 suitcases and opened them up and said, "Which guns do you want?" And of course, Nicolas Cage goes, "I want the gold ones with dragons on them."
Awesome. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, those are a cool design. Although in several shots you can see that the barrels, like the barrel's not even.
So Face Off gun, Castor Troy's gun, I think is a 45.
I don't know. I'd have to look up the Internet Movie Firearms Database.
So, Felk, to your point, John Woo directed Mission Impossible 2 and Face Off, right? Nick Cage is shit in Face Off with guns. Tom Cruise is great in Mission Impossible 2 with guns. So that even goes more to your point to prove that Tom Cruise brought his intelligence, his understanding of the tool, the weapon, right?
Well, yeah.
I think John Woo understands
to the character.
guns.
Tom is such an involved producer in those movies. He likely would have been involved in hiring the on-set weapons expert. So
it's probably a friend.
He cares about that.
And Felk, Ethan Hunt's weapon of choice in Mission Impossible 2 is.
In Mission Impossible 2, I know he uses the Beretta 92 FS. I think
you are correct.
Okay.
That's what he uses.
I know shit about
And I don't think he uses that gun again in any Mission Impossible. But in Mission Impossible 2, he double wields a Beretta all day long.
He doesn't use one. He uses a Sig. I don't know if it's Sig Sauer or SIG Sawyer for a lot of the third one. He hands a Beretta.
What's in the suitcase in 3? Is that a Scar or a GL? Something?
That's a G36.
A G36. Okay.
Yeah, which was a good weapon in Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah. Talking about guns, people. Talking about guns, shooting dicks off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that, Cool Boy Nation.
Don't do that. All right, Phil, what are we talking about?
Well, we're not talking about fucking movies or Tom Cruise or movies in which Tom Cruise has starred, but we're talking about movies in which Tom Cruise's hair has starred. Because we're going to count down the top 5 best Tom Cruise haircut. Or simply because it's not the cut that really, because haircut kind of gives credit to the
Stylist.
the stylist, or you could say barber if you want to be old school. But it's the hair itself that's starring. So top 5, the top 5 Tom Cruise hairs. This has all happened because I Googled Tom Cruise's hair and sent you the Google results, and I was just like, holy shit, most people, most human beings can pull off 1, maybe 2 good haircuts.
You're absolutely right.
And Tom Cruise works with every single possible haircut. We got to talk about Tom Cruise's hair now.
Absolutely.
He's had a few failures, so why don't we start off with some failures?
Felk, I feel like that you came up with this while you were watching Mission Impossible franchise back last week, really.
I was. He has a different haircut in every movie. Some are similar, but most have a unique style.
He's got some similar.
You know,
one of the styles.
One of the ones I hate. Sure, we can get to this. One of the ones I hate is in a Mission Impossible film. Can you guys guess which film, which haircut, in which movie I hate?
Yes.
Which one?
You hate the one in 5.
Rogue Nation. That's correct.
Rogue Nation. He has a terrible haircut.
It's a horrible haircut.
He has a terrible haircut. It's a terrible haircut.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
Oh my God, terrible.
Terrible.
Every time we hit a perfect one.
It's just bland Tom Cruise haircut. And it kind of, you guys, I haven't seen Fallout yet, but it kind of looks like it's the same haircut.
It's similar.
Fallout?
Honestly, since
I wish in
It's
Fallout
different.
he went back to like his crew cut Mission Impossible 1 and 3 haircut just to make some like continuity.
The closest he's gotten to Mission Impossible 1 is probably, I would say, Mission Impossible 3.
It's definitely 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 is. It's not anywhere near as short though. It's so short in 1. All right, we got to start coming down.
Were you Canadian there?
Our top 5.
Well, we're not done talking about shitty haircuts. I gave up one. I need you guys to give up a shitty haircut. A hairable. I need to know your hairable haircuts.
My hairable haircut for Tom Cruise is during Cocktail when his hair transforms back to his Rain Man haircut for reshoots. So like you'll have his like Rain Man haircut, then his Cocktail haircut, then his Rain Man haircut, then his Cocktail haircut. And his Rain Man haircut is terrible because it's parted down the middle and feathered.
Interesting.
Horrible haircut.
Okay.
Totally 80s. It's bad.
I have another one if you don't have one, Felk.
Rock of Ages. No, I have one. I'm just double checking it. Hold on. Yeah, his hair in Rock of Ages, I think, might be a wig. It's long.
Yeah, that's a wig. That's a wig in that movie.
And I think, by the way, in general, wigs are completely out. So you have to prove it's real hair. It's got to be it's real hair, when we are doing our top
I'm thinking
5s.
that might be the only movie Tom Cruise wears a wig in.
So he's worn a wig a few times. But I would say for me, another hairable haircut, Valkyrie.
Huh. Well, we should start our top. We should start our top 5.
We should, but Felk, you haven't given up your hairable haircut.
I said Rock of Ages just now.
Oh, that's a wig. That doesn't count.
It counts because we don't know if it's.
It sounds like Felk's number 5 is Valkyrie.
I feel like it. Yeah, really.
So Ballard, what's your number 5 Tom Cruise best haircut of all time?
Oh, we're starting it. Here we go.
Guys.
Here we go.
Oh, guys. Oh, guys.
I have it higher.
My top 5 Tom Cruise's hairs. My number 5 is. You ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Last Samurai.
Oh, not on my list.
Not on my list. Not on my list.
And okay, really, no one's list.
Sake.
Nobody's list. Okay. I've got some photos for proof because I feel like I need to explain everything.
Oh, Jeffs, you're going to really test our Wi-Fi connection here.
I'm testing your ass in a second, big guy.
Okay. There's 2. I think that's enough.
No way. You have to see all of them. Okay, so I had Last Samurai, and it's mainly because this is real hair. This is real Tom Cruise hair connecting to what at the time accounted for a Tom Cruise beard. This is groundbreaking Tom Cruise moment. Not because it's his first time with long hair. No. That would be my honorable mention, Legend. That is his first long hair performance. But this is the first time where Tom actually was able to connect his long mane of hair to his beard. It actually connects. There's a beard there. Tom finally reached puberty, and he was able to grow the beard. And it is
like 42.
glorious. It is magnificent. He rides into battle with his hair blowing in the fucking wind. It's fantastic. It's all the strands are falling over the face all the time because he's in battle sequences with it. But when he's not in battle sequences with it, he is absolutely reappropriating Japanese culture by tying his shit up into like Japanese like samurai shit. It's wonderful. He completely tries to do, you know, Tom Cruise as a Japanese man. It's like you only live twice. It's an incredible movie, and it's not bad movie. Like the samurai versus ninja sequence, the action sequence that takes place about halfway through the movie is fucking heart pounding. It is a great action sequence, and you are like immediately A, fear of a blade coming near within anyone's flesh, and then B, you're afraid of anybody dying in that scene.
I need to revisit Last Samurai. It came out in that period where like everyone was making historical, like fucking like big, grandiose fucking movies like Gladiator and Braveheart, and like it just I passed it by. Like it was a one and done for me. Like I don't remember much about it except for Saki.
Based on a true story. I don't know if that's true, but I think so. It feels right.
Tom looks okay with the long hair and beard. It's a good choice, Ballard.
Yeah, and that's real hair. And I've went and checked. That is real. That's legit hair. That's Tom's hair. He grew that for that.
Yeah.
He did that for us. Remember, that's the most important thing you hear about Tom Cruise, everyone. He's doing this shit. He's doing it for you. It is all about you. He wants to make sure you are happy, that you are satisfied, and that you have a good time staring at the spectacle that is Tom Cruise. Tom, what is his name? Thomas Cruise Malthorpe or some shit like that?
Mapother?
Mapother?
The fourth?
Is that really what it is?
Yeah.
Thomas Cruise Mapother the fourth.
Because I'm a super fan.
Fucking Tom Cruise. Yeah, I think we talked about that in Top Buns.
I'll have to go back and watch this film again. It's not even in the pantheon of Tom Cruise films. It's never even mentioned. I don't even think it's in my top 15. But I need to go give this film a watch.
It's not top 15 movie. It is absolutely
It's Edward
top 5
Zwick, though, and I love Edward Zwick.
It's a very forgettable movie.
That's what I remember.
I remember nothing about it.
Yeah, we're in the same boat.
But it is worth mentioning because of the hair.
It's good hair. I like it.
All right, Noli, what's your 5?
This one's guaranteed to be on someone's list.
Uh-oh.
So let's just start talking about it because it's the only time no, it's not the only time. Tom Cruise did bald for Tropic Thunder. But I'm not talking about bald here. I'm talking about a silver fox Tom Cruise. I'm talking about Collateral. Higher. So it's higher.
Higher and higher.
Of course it would be.
Well, it'll be a while before we talk about it again.
Quite a while.
Oh, God.
Well,
not number one, guys. Come on.
No, it's not my number one. But, all right. Well, this is my number 5. My number 5 might be the only time this one appears on this list because it's already been mentioned as someone's least favorite hair. And I gotta say, I did not see that coming. That's a pun, everybody. Yes, that is the hair that Tom Cruise portraying Colonel Klaus von Stauffenberg in Valkyrie. And of course, Valkyrie has been recently mentioned because it's about that ass that Tom has in that movie. Klaus got a big old ass. But no, I like the haircut. Now, okay, it's not technically a Nazi haircut because Klaus von Stauffenberg was hold on, let's see about top 5. Was not a Nazi. He was a German soldier, not technically in the SS, but of course he was working with them and secretly trying to kill that Hitler. And that's the plot of the movie. But one of the really cool things about it, it's curly. It's the only time we've seen Tom Cruise's hair go curly.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Well,
not true, because I have one of my top 5 where it's curly.
Not this curly, not this German curly, but the image I put up in there is the fact that Tom actually looks a lot like the real Klaus von Stauffenberg. And that was part of why he convinced
Brian.
Not Brian, Christopher McQuarrie at the time, because Christopher McQuarrie was still slated to direct it. That hey,
and
I
really screenwrote it.
Yeah, he wrote it and produced it and was wanting to direct it. Basically, he convinced him, like, hey, I look like this guy. I can play this guy. You know, let me play this part. And as a result, Christopher McQuarrie couldn't direct it because the budget got too big, but he probably wouldn't have got it made otherwise. And that's how he brought Bryan Singer on, because he knew him already, because they wanted a bigger name director to handle this thing. And Tom Cruise's German accent is flawless because he doesn't do one. He sounds like American Tom Cruise, which is a really
the whole
weird
movie.
choice.
No one does a German accent. They all
no,
do
everyone
British
does
accents.
their own natural accent. So British actors are just British, American actors are just American, and it's very weird. But I do remember thinking, I've never seen that specific type of curly historical hair from Tommy, and I liked it. And I also thought no one else would have it on their list, and I didn't want this entire list to be Mission Impossible 2, Mission Impossible 4. I've got it higher.
Phil, he has that nice curl there. But you know what else? We know what other movie has a nice fluffy curl in the front on?
Where?
It's not on my list, but I have another movie.
Color
that's
of Money.
curly, but no. Well, Color of Money. No, he's got a coif. He's got a
Yeah, I
coif
guess it
in
is
that
more
one.
coiffed. It's like 1950 style. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Cocktail. He has a nice part with a curl going down, kind of Superman-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Valkyrie haircut, actually.
Remember how that Nazi haircut, the Hitler Youth haircut, was like a big thing where it was. That's not the haircut Tom has in this movie, of course. I'm talking about the ones where it was like short on the sides but long on the top. That rapper.
The Spielberg haircut, the Spielberg Nazi haircut. Yeah.
Spielberg didn't have that haircut.
It's the
I
hipster
don't know.
haircut.
But yeah, I mean, people in the movie Schindler's List had that haircut. Ray Fiennes
Yeah.
kind of has that haircut. Yeah.
Brad Pitt had it in Fury.
Brad Pitt had in Fury because that was just
Yeah,
a
he
popular
did.
haircut
That's
for the
right.
time. That was just a popular
That's
haircut
right.
for the time. It wasn't really a Nazi haircut, but like that's what it got called, the Hitler Youth thing. And then somebody realized that, hey, Macklemore, maybe stop calling it that. And everybody decided that they shouldn't have that haircut anymore. And the haircut was deemed offensive.
Cool.
Sign of the times.
Ballard, what's your number 4?
What is your number 4?
Guys, my number 4 is 1999's Magnolia.
Don't have it on my list.
I have it slightly higher.
Oh, really? You have it higher?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just want to say the one thing about it, and we can move on.
Yeah.
Halfback. It's a halfback. It's a halfback ponytail. It is sexy.
Oh, it's sexy.
It makes me want to fuck them. I lose control when I see it. So that's mine. That's my number 4, Magnolia.
Yeah. Was Magnolia like made right after he shot Mission Impossible 2? Is that why he still had the long hair?
I think, or that was the hair he was growing for Mission Impossible 2, perhaps. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Well, it's great hair.
Because it came out in
don't get me
99,
wrong.
so they must have shot it in 98, so that's some time.
Decisions now. Do I like crank up the energy with my next one, or do I shove it down the list into like?
I'm realizing this is not a viable show topic.
Yeah.
Nolan, what's your number 4?
No, we're talking about
Guys,
we're talking about Tom Cruise
Yeah,
movies. it's been very viable.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pull something out of my ass right
Do
here.
it.
No, it's not out of my ass. Okay, guys, my number 4.
I only want it if it's out of your ass.
My number 4.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
I'm of course speaking about Tom Cruise's hair in Top Gun.
Oh, I have it higher.
I don't have Top Gun.
You have it
I don't have it.
higher?
I have it higher.
Well, can I quickly say why it's great hair?
Yes.
Sure, of course. You have it. Yeah, as we always do with top 5s, we always allow someone who has it, and if someone else has it higher, we always allow the person, of course, to be able to say a little something about it.
Guys, when have you ever seen Tom Cruise's hair that fucking wet?
Yes, that's
In that
my
movie,
that's my
his
reason.
hair
That's my reason.
is wet the whole time. It's wet in the plane. It's wet when he's in class, as the picture right there shows you.
Yep.
It's wet on the volleyball court. It's wet before his shower. It's wet during his shower. It's wet after his shower. It's wet during sex. It's wet during his anxiety, and it's wet during the fucking congratulations at the end. The movie, his whole hair is wet.
Oh yeah, did you mention that it's wet during mission briefings?
Yes, in class, in mission briefing, same thing. And I think that hair is so good because I saw this movie as a young baby boy Ballard, And he was a fighter pilot. It was everything I wanted to be. He was a hero. And watching Tom Cruise, that was the only thing I knew. That was a man right there, even all 5'7" of him. But that was a fucking man, and his hair was perfect, and I needed that hair, and my hair needed to be wet at all times.
All right, well, we can just pretty much bypass everything that I need to say because all I had in my notes was Top Gun, 1986, the first hair baby boy Ballard met, so wet and so clean.
Yeah, of course.
So you pretty much hit like literally everything. I guess the surprise is what number is it? All right. Good.
Perfect.
Move on.
Perfect.
Belk, what is your 4?
My number 4 is Collateral. Does someone have it higher?
Higher.
Oh no!
Oh man!
It's the only. It's the only time we've seen Tom Cruise's hair be a different color than Tom Cruise's hair traditionally is, and it was gray. And Tom was. He didn't wear old age makeup. He was just playing a older character than Tom. Because Tom's played. All right, that's 35.
Enough of that. Moving on. Ballard's number 3.
Seriously?
You can't get into my we've touched upon Collateral now twice. We're getting far
Ballard's
too into
now
the
just
Collateral
worried that we're gonna
conversation.
I was moving it on to other things, and then you just
we're talking about
me.
hair. There's only a couple things to say about hair.
Exactly. So we're like diving strictly like right into like.
I had a whole thing, but now I can't do it. All right, fine.
Do it when I say my number. Then we all talk about it. That's the point. That's the whole purpose. We've been doing these since the first episode.
Ballard just wants to say it first,
right?
Felk.
Top 5s. That's how we always do top 5s.
You let Nolan go on for much longer than you let me go on.
I know, and I try to, and I just because of that, he just ruined my number, whatever. So.
Oh, so you're taking it out on me?
No, I'm trying to end it before you ruin my next number, whatever.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely trying to prevent more of my number being whatever number my numbers are for those.
Make him stay, Murph.
All right.
I should have assumed that redundancy would be a problem on this list.
Sure as hell would have been. Well, nobody had Valkyrie, and nobody had Magnolia, and nobody.
I didn't think any of you would have Collateral. I thought I was being fucking original.
Yeah, I think we probably all thought that when we picked it. Well, my number 3 is my only Mission Impossible movie. Guys, what is my favorite Mission Impossible hair?
Mission Impossible 2.
It's Mission Impossible 2. So yes, my number 3 is Mission Impossible 2 from the year 2000. Nuff said.
I have it higher.
Okay, moving on.
That's your number 3?
That's my number 3.
God, I can't wait to find out what your number 2 and 1 are.
I think we already know.
Is it Collateral and Top Gun?
Yep.
Wait, whose turn is it now?
Perfect.
Noli,
what's your number 3?
My number 3, Tom Cruise's hair is... My number 3 haircut for Tom Cruise is Mission Impossible 1.
Wow.
I've got it higher.
Felk, you have all the Mission Impossibles on your list.
No, I only have one Mission Impossible
we were
on my list.
Have so much
I only have one on my list. And who knows
which
one it is?
Who has 2 then? Who has 2 higher?
I love his Mission Impossible 1 hair because it's once again wet. And it's very crew cutty, but also Tom Cruise-y. So it's like a fucking militaristic hairstyle, but also very Tom Cruise-like. And it works perfectly. I wanted that haircut from the moment I saw it.
Yeah,
it perfect.
It's good. Absolutely. It's a solid haircut for sure. I love it. It's one that I always like to get. I essentially get 2 haircuts in my life. I get the Mission Impossible or I get the Oblivion. That's about it. It's the only 2 haircuts I get.
You don't have either of those haircuts.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Not right now, I don't, but I do normally. That's what I get when I go the haircut. I haven't
now you're just taking up what my Mission Impossible story is going to be. So let's move on.
Wait, your Mission Impossible story is about haircuts? Awesome.
Yes, it is.
All right, let's move on.
Is it my number 3?
It's your 3.
My number 3 is his haircut from Magnolia. Does anyone else have it higher?
No, because I had it higher. I had it lower. Excuse me.
Oh,
remember?
Not on your list?
No, it was on my list. Remember?
I'm asking Nolan now.
Oh,
it's not on my list. No.
Okay. Did either of you read Neil Strauss's The Game?
Nope.
Have you heard of it? Know what that's about?
Is it the Michael Douglas Game movie?
No. It's about the fucking pickup artist movement that started at the time that Magnolia was being popularized. I don't remember the name of the actual guy that they met, that P.T. Anderson and Tom Cruise actually met and like based the character off, but that's who he's playing. A guy who gives seminars about how to
T.J. Mackey, is his name?
That's the character, yeah. And Neil Strauss talks about meeting him in the book when he was researching pickup artists who like teach this stuff, and about how at the end of it, he meets Tom Cruise and how he realizes that Tom Cruise uses every single pickup artist technique in just day-to-day conversations. The way he laughs a little too long. He holds his laugh so that you don't know whether or not you should keep laughing, or he is setting the tempo for the conversation. He is setting the control of the conversation. He uses anchor words so that you remember the conversation that you had with him. All that shit. But at the end, he says, now you realize to the pickup artist guys, like, you realize that this stuff is very bad. Like, this is like giving, teaching this stuff to people without teaching the responsibilities, like giving loaded guns to kids and stuff. And that's what he based the character around, where like he wanted to make it so that the character, it's not a mockery of the pickup artists. It kind of is, but it's not a mockery of the pickup artist educators, because the techniques he's using kind of work, but he's giving them out because of some other like cause. He's got personal issues with the fact that his dad just left his mom. And there's that scene at the end where he's with Jason Robert, who plays his father, the late Jason Robert, who was like literally dying when he was making that movie, playing a character dying. And Tom's got that one strand of hair out of place, because that's the part where he's emotionally breaking down. And, that's where I mentioned this, because that's Tom Cruise acting with every cell of his body, including his hairs.
His hairs, yes,
you were right.
Plural. His hairs.
And to play a douchebag, what does he wear? He essentially has a man bun before man bun was associated with douchebags. I like that.
Yeah,
he knew. He set the
does.
tempo. That's it.
It's not a man bun. It's a half-back ponytail.
It's a half-back ponytail, but it's a very Silver Lakey hair before Silver Lake was even a thing. Silver Lake was bodegas back then, man.
No, yeah, you're right. He's ahead of the curve. He always is ahead of the curve.
He sets the tempo for the rest of society, for Hollywood, for people, for the conversation you're having with him right then and there. He's the one who controls the pace, and thus that's the mastery of Tom Cruise. And of course, a lot of that's tied to the techniques of Scientology trains, which are frankly somewhat similar to what pickup artists teach. NLP. If you don't know what NLP stands for, it's neuro-linguistic programming. And if you don't know what that means, you're missing out, because it's some powerful shit.
Yeah, Phil, you say some interesting things there. Brad Pitt has mentioned working with him on Interview with the Vampire, everything you just said, how it felt like he was talking to an actor and a robot and not a human being every time he talked to Tom Cruise.
Really?
Yeah, because he's controlling every measure of what he says to to attain a goal, to set setting the tempo of the conversation is a big part of neuro-linguistic programming.
Well, there you go, Cool Boy Nation. You learned something. It's great.
It meant a lot to me to see that Tom uses that shit, because when I first found out about this stuff, because it wasn't in the book. I met a friend in law school who used to be part of the Project Austin thing, and he just kind of told me all this shit, and he told me about peacocking, and he would like wear like fucking feather boas and shit to bars in San Antonio. Weird. And I was just like, dude, I'm not gonna dress like that. He's like, don't fucking dress like Tom Cruise does. Wear a jacket and tie next time we go out. Like, do whatever you want. Just stand out. But you don't have to stand out in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. That's the worst thing you can do. And Tom Cruise taught me a lot, because I realized Tom Cruise has been doing that his whole life. He is always slightly overdressed for every scenario he's in.
Is he?
He knows what he was doing in Magnolia. He wasn't just coming. That wasn't just a random character. That was something he was very well versed in. And even the hair. Even the hair represents.
Are we going to see that Tom Cruise again, like in a P.T. Anderson film? Are we going to see that kind of dramatic performance?
No, not
after
The Master.
Yeah, not after The Master. He's never going to work.
He got approval to do The Master, or he kind of gave Tom the heads up he was doing The Master, one of the two. But after The Master, there's no way. There's no way Tom will ever be able to work with him again.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, what happened?
The
Master's about Scientology.
Yeah.
And it's
oh, yes.
not really about Scientology, but it's about Scientology, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm not pointing any fingers or making any illusions, but the guy who played now I can't remember the name of the Scientology L. Ron Hubbard. The guy who played it wasn't really L. Ron Hubbard, but it was
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Clearly L. Ron Hubbard.
Looks exactly
and what
like
happened
him.
to Philip Seymour Hoffman like a year after that movie? He
Commit suicide.
overdosed.
Yeah. Oh, he overdosed or was it committed suicide?
Well, he quote unquote overdosed or quote unquote committed suicide. Quote unquote. Allegedly.
I think he overdosed on heroin.
Yeah, he was probably
That's
just
what
a
I heard.
heroin addict his entire life and fat.
But what did L. Ron Hubbard do? Did he overdose on drugs too? I don't even know.
No, I think he just died,
died
out
of a
at
heart
sea
attack.
as a captain of his own ship.
Oh, Phil, so you're trying to say that Tom Cruise had him killed?
Allegedly, quote
Yeah,
unquote.
okay. All right, that's fine.
Scientology has had people disappear.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and
The leader's wife is still missing.
What?
David Miscavage's wife is still missing.
Yeah, like somebody saw her in the forest
Miscavige.
once. David
Miscavige.
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 David Miscavige.
David Miscavige, yes. And his dad is
The biggest, guys, I think I'm a big Tom Cruise fan, but I think David Miscavige is a Tom Cruise, like, super duper fan.
super dupe. They salute each other. They're fucking.
Yeah, they're about the same height. They salute each other. They fucking grease each other off. Dicks upon dicks.
The best. The bestest. Absolutely.
The bestest. Where are we right now?
You know where we are? We're in a fucking episode about hair, and I love what we just talked about. Like, that was fucking great. Like Felk, you took Magnolia further than I would. Here's my conversation about Magnolia. Tom Cruise's hair is fuckable. Moving on. My next one. Tom Cruise hairs is fuckable. Next one. Tom Cruise hairs is fuckable. Next one. My number 2. Tom Cruise hair is fuckable in Top Gun because it's so wet and it's so clean and it's the first time Baby Boy Ballard ever met Tom Cruise. Like, literally, all I fucking classify and qualify and quantify my Tom Cruise is how fuckable the hair he's wearing on his head is. Or does it attach to a beard or not? And like, you had this whole great breakdown from the fucking book The Game, and then all the shit that came into, like, whatever it was, the way to, like, just gain someone's attention in a conversation, communication. That's awesome.
Thank you. As an organization,
By the way, that was my number 2, and we can move on from my number 2.
As an organization, I find Scientology scary, but the basics of what they teach, which is often about controlling your personal fear, controlling your emotions and emotionally charged conversations and situations, and controlling conversations using specific words and techniques and control techniques so that you're the person who's setting the way the conversation goes. It works. It's all based in science and true, even if other shit that Scientology has is crazy. And Tom Cruise is proof that it fucking works.
I just watched the whole interview with Ron Miscavige, and where he talks about that specifically about Scientology, and it's actually with the Joe Rogan podcast. And Joe Rogan literally says, like, there are things about Scientology, because he looked into it. Apparently,
who's Ron? Is his brother?
That are actually Ron is his dad.
Oh, okay.
And he talks about how like there are things that that they do that if they could just get rid of the creepy bullshit, like, they would actually be a really helpful organization.
Yeah, I agree.
And this is Ron Miscavige, David Miscavige's dad, who has left the Church of Scientology completely, like, ran away from it, and he's completely disavowed at this point. And by the way, again, my number 2 was Top Gun because it's so wet and so clean. Noli, what's your number 2?
Top Cruise hair.
My number 2 won't be on anyone's list. Mine, of course, is the fucking fabulous hair of Cole Trickle in Days of Thunder.
Not on my
remember
list.
His hair in that movie, yeah, not
because
on my list.
Phil, his hair was curly and dyed a weird hue of orange in that film. The only time Tom Cruise has had a weird hue dye of orange.
Okay, that's because he wanted it to be blonde, and they fucked up the bleaching or the dyeing of it.
It's not curly; it's wavy.
Perfect.
It's wavy, which is different.
It's curly and wavy, and it's the first time maybe he was long. Besides Legend, this is like a precursor to Tom Cruise hair. This is when he started changing his hair.
This isn't long. This is just helmet head.
No, it's pretty long.
Wavy.
I could provide more pictures where it's fucking longer.
You better.
It's a long haircut.
But Legend is, and we've already stated this, Legend is the longest and first time he's ever done it. Yeah, that's not longer than Mission Impossible 2 or anything. Or even as long as Mission Impossible 2.
Well before Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's not even near that. It's not even near it. That's just beautiful. That's just he hasn't had a haircut in a while. That's all that is.
It's beautiful, is what it is.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous hair though.
It's fucking gorgeous. And Ballard, like you, my list is all about which Tom Cruise would we like to fuck the most. And Days of Thunder is number 2 because it's different. You know, it's Tommy, but it's a little bit different. It's like, you know, when your girlfriend or your wife changes her hair for that one weekend with a new stylist, and you're like, oh, I got a new girlfriend and a new wife. That's all it is.
The simple pleasures.
And I like that.
Yeah, it's great hair. It's fuckable hair for sure. It's not something that I really thought of until you mentioned it, and I feel like I could have easily replaced, you know, fucking Last Samurai with it.
Yeah, and Felk, you hate Days of Thunder.
I don't hate it. I still think it's a good movie.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
It's a great movie. It is Top Gun on wheels.
And that's why it's fantastic. No one has anything else to say positive about Days of Thunder besides Tom Cruise's very fuckable haircut?
We've talked enough about Days of Thunder.
Dude, that's all I can say about these haircuts. They're just fuckable. They're the most fuckable things I've ever seen.
But some people are just joining Cool Boy Nation for the first time and they don't know.
I'm sorry if that's the case.
Yeah.
Our other episodes, we typically have a lot more to work with our topics.
This was Felk's episode too. Yeah,
I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I suggested. I just something I texted, and you guys were like, "This is a show topic," and I'm like, "All right."
And yeah, you said that you were excited about this being a show topic.
Well, a boner. It could be a boner. It could be. I meant like a boner topic, not a full show topic. But
well, you know what? Tom Cruise sometimes demands a whole show.
You even mentioned privately to me that you wanted to continue with this one down the road on this one,
just to see where it goes. My number 2 is the most, I think, Tom Cruise haircut Tom Cruise has ever Tom Cruised in a Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, shit.
I feel like it's the default Tom Cruise haircut, where if you just shed, like, I need Tom Cruise, like, standard.
Night and day?
No additional trim levels.
Jack Reacher.
No bells. No whistles.
Oh, Jack Reacher.
Default Tom Cruise, Jerry Maguire.
Oh, Jerry.
Now, if you look at the movie Jerry Maguire, you'll notice that when everything's going fine, every hair is like off his forehead. They're all perfectly coiffed and perfectly designed. But when he gets fired by Jay Moore, and he comes back and he's making the phone calls, his hair goes down a little bit. It's over his forehead.
You were right. You were all about the acting with his hair. And I want to know, whose choice is this? Is this the director's choice with his fucking loose hairs? Or is this Tom Cruise choice to be like, I have to have this loose hair right here?
It's Cruise.
Okay. It's settled then. Confirmed.
It's Cruise's choice.
Yeah, no, you're right. And Tom Cruise does sweaty hair so well, as we've already talked about with Top Gun.
Yes, he does. Oh, so wet and so sweaty.
Wet hair, Tom Cruise looks perfect.
You can see. And at the end, when he's the most disheveled, his hair is the most messed up. But when he's with Renee Zellweger, like it starts to be okay again. He acts with his hair, and it's not too long, it's not too short. It's just default Tom.
That's a default Tom Cruise haircut. I mean, he's almost had variations of that in Mission Impossible.
I don't know if it's... I think it's not like... I think it's default to some extent, but I don't think it's like horribly default. Like, I definitely think that the haircuts that he busts out in like Top Gun, you know, or like even Mission Impossible, like, I think those are his default. I think of short, like real short Tom Cruise as default. I don't really think of like that.
He's never really had real short except for Mission Impossible 3. Like, this is what Felk's providing me here in Jerry Maguire. That is like short on the sides, a little bit of length on the top. That is a Tom Cruise default haircut to me.
Yeah, I agree. Default. Perfect.
Something he can come over to the side and have a little bit of hair hanging in his face.
That's stock Cruise, basically.
Yeah. Stock images, stock Cruise.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because that's kind of like A Few Good Men, isn't it? And War of the Worlds. Minority Report is really tiny, really tight. Jack the Reacher's real tiny and tight. Oblivion is kind of just, it's up, but it would go over his forehead if it was down.
See, Oblivion is in the range of stock Cruise.
Edge of Tomorrow is definitely stock Cruise. I mean,
because they weren't hiring Tom Cruise to play a character. They were hiring Tom Cruise to play Tom Cruise in Oblivion, and that's why you don't want the hair to outshine the Tom.
Exactly.
You want the hair to be part of Tom, but not like a separate entity that's creating a different character the way it is in Magnolia.
Like Far and Away.
Or Collateral.
Far and Away, he's absolutely, it's all over the place. It's almost like a bowl cut.
Far and Away is right after Days of Thunder or right before. That was in his phase where he was just like, I'm going to get wild with my hair. He had that little wave in it. I don't know where that wave came from. Does Tom Cruise straighten his hair or is it naturally wavy? We do not know.
You'll never know because it's always changed. It's always been different.
I think Jerry is basically his natural haircut.
I don't know. Felk, you provided some images from Taps, and I think his natural hair is something close to Risky Business, which is that, like, Tom Cruise, I think, has really naturally thin hair, but somehow it stayed perfect for years. Somehow it got wavy. Like, I don't know.
Genes. It's genetics, man. This is genetics.
How do you take naturally, like, really thin hair, though, and make it so wavy like that?
Fiber.
Fiber?
Fiber. Lots of fiber.
Scientology?
They crimped it for Valkyrie, at least. It was crimped.
But, like, I mean, look at it. Look at his hair in Taps and what's the movie? Risky Business. That is thin, feathered hair. I mean,
Isn't
it's 80s.
Taps like
it's thin,
super
though.
short though?
Yeah,
Like
Taps
super,
is short, a
super
military
short.
cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's thin. You can see like it lays down on itself. It's so thin. Like, when did he get like this sick, robust hair?
I don't know.
From
I mean, it really isn't always like
it's 100% Cruise.
I mean, it's celebrity fucking millions and millions of dollars. You know, they get the access. I mean,
No, I don't think
thin.
so. Matthew, if you look at like people like Matthew McConaughey, who has been taking fucking pills up the ass. I can't remember the name of the pills I took. And Rogaine and all kinds of stuff. I could pull it up. What's it called? I can't remember.
Propecia.
Propecia. Yeah, Propecia. That's the name brand of it. Finasteride. That's what it's really called. He's been taking that shit and all that stuff like to deal. And he's had implants. Tom, I think, just has really good genes. That's why he at 50 whatever looks 35. And
somewhat, yeah.
And like it extends to his hair. It extends to his fingernails.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed now that at his old age, what is he, 50?
56.
55? 56? He's almost 60. Tom, you can give us a little bit of gray. You gave it to us in Collateral, which we'll talk about soon. But why not give us some more? Like, why do you always have to be this perfectly brown-haired man? Like, that's not what you are anymore. You act your age, man.
I don't think he has
there
any.
yet.
I don't think he can gray. It's not the only movie he's great in. In Vanilla Sky, you see on his 40th birthday, he has like one gray. Or it's not his 40th birthday in the movie, but like he was 40 then. He has one gray hair and he yanks it, and I cringe because I'm like, I would never yank a hair because every hair on my head is precious and needs to stay there.
Precious. Fuck, you have plenty of hair.
It's the truth.
I think Tom Cruise, is he gonna rock brown hair until he's like 80 years old, like some of these actors do?
No, I think when he realizes that he gets that point. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, John Travolta hasn't stopped, right?
There used to be hair all down here.
Can't talk about it. We cannot talk about it.
I used to have hair all here.
We can't talk about it.
I used to have hair all here, and now it's up here.
Felk, you're fine.
We're all dying, Felk.
Yeah, but my hair's dying.
All right, well, before we get to our number ones, can we take a drink break?
For drink break.
Sure, why not?
Okay, I'll be right back.
We all know what everyone's number one is, though.
I'm sure mine's a mystery.
I can probably guess. Did you see my butt?
No, I didn't.
All right.
What's happening?
Welcome back to the Cool Boys Podcast.
Are we ready for our number ones?
So, we are at All That Sexy Hair Brings Us to the Best Possible Hair in the Best Possible Tom Cruise Hair World, our number ones.
But guys, I gotta interject real quick. Guys.
What?
I just got one quick question before we get to our most fabulous Tom Cruise number one hairs. Are you ready?
Uh-oh.
Would you rather
Oh, no.
be Maverick and have all the amazing beach volleyball gay sex you can handle, get all the accolades that come with being an all-American hero, but you have to marry Kelly McGinnis forever? Or be Cole Trickle and rub and bump all the red-blooded good old boys you can handle, get all the accolades that come with being a stock car driver, have to marry Nicole Kidman, but secretly, you are fucking Rowdy Burns in the
I was
barn.
thinking about fucking, because like, in terms of fucking, you either get to fuck a lesbian who will age terribly, or you get to fuck your wife. Neat. Marital sex.
But secretly, you're fucking a man in the butt, and Rowdy Burns is a man.
In which one? In Top Gun, or are you saying he's gay in Top Gun, or are you saying he's gay in Days of Thunder?
Days of Thunder.
He's gay in Days of Thunder. He's fucking Rowdy Burns in the barn. You only fuck in the barn.
And he's not gay in Top Gun? Fucking Goose?
Well, no, the question says you get to have all the most amazing beach volleyball gay sex you can handle. What can you handle?
I'd rather be a
that's up to
fighter
you.
pilot than a fucking NASCAR driver.
Wait,
In NASCAR,
wait.
though, I'm making millions of dollars. I'm not making any money being a top hot shot fighter pilot.
They probably make like low six figures, maybe.
And you're an all-American hero, but you're not making like all that money and all them trophies.
And you might die.
Yeah.
You might die in both.
I'd rather be Maverick because you know what? Maverick's gonna be in another movie, but ain't no Cole Trickle gonna be in a fucking soft reboot he made anytime soon.
Oh my god, that's next. That's literally next.
No, there's no way. Joseph Kosinski won't even fucking direct that shit. He's like,
You think he'll do Days of Thunder 2 next?
Oh my god, wouldn't that be amazing?
yeah.
Phil, you were Maverick. Battler, what are you?
Wait, is Kelly McGinnis in the new one?
No, she's
Okay,
not.
good. Yeah, because have you seen what she looks like now?
So wait, so one is like
This isn't a hard one.
have a really hot wife that you don't ever fuck, and because you're too gay with Rowdy, or the
God.
other one is essentially gay all the time with volleyball, but your wife is not good looking. And so I have to break it down to career, and in the end, I just want to fucking fly Tomcats all day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, that would be better than doing stock car laps, around a track. I would rather fly a fucking F-14.
Yeah, it depends. If you were a gay man, maybe fucking Rowdy Burns in the barn sounds like a good time, and just like going around endlessly in a loop. That sounds fun, I guess, but not for me. And Nicole Kidman, honestly, that's like fucking a skeleton. I'm not down with it.
She was really hot in Far and Away. She's really hot in Days of Thunder, though. Like, she is really hot in those movies.
She's got a great line that turns me on every time in Days of Thunder, and it's let me out of the cockhole.
Let me out of the cockhole.
Let me out of the cockhole.
Yeah, let me out of the
cock.
cockhole. Yeah, she's great in that movie. She looks great. But she's also, like, chubby and young and all that shit, and didn't realize she needed to start thinning up as she gets older to be able to be filmable.
And let's be honest, just flying a Tomcat sounds like the best job in the world.
Felk, what was
So,
your
yeah.
answer again? Tomcat flying?
Maverick, because he's at least like getting another movie, and people like fondly remember that movie, and no one
Nobody
fondly
wants to fuck
remembers Days of Thunder.
Mickey Rourke, or not Mickey Rourke, Michael Rooker. That's the problem.
What?
No one wants to
Yeah, you
fuck
don't want to fuck Michael Rooker?
Yeah, that's Rowdy.
Henry, fucking Portrait of a Serial Killer. Who wants to
Yeah.
fuck that?
Do you guys know the story that that movie was playing in theaters, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, and he wanted to go check on an audience to kind of see how the movie was actually playing in theaters? Walked into a theater, but as he's walking in, a woman at the same time who was having way too much anxiety watching the film because it was too violent, too intense for her, got up out of the movie theater, walked out of the theater, and fucking walked right into him and almost had a heart attack because she immediately associated him with the movie and
Yeah.
not thinking like this is an actor. She thought she was about to die. You guys ever hear that
What
story?
movie is this? What movie is this?
Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
He was there
It's
when
supposed to be a very visceral, very realistic portrayal of a serial killer's lifestyle. I've never seen it, but I
I've
hear
watched
it's
it
actually
once,
good.
but man, it is a tough thing to get through.
Yeah, I
is
heard it's
tough.
good.
Like it's a bad movie or like a good movie that's just hard to watch?
Good movie that's incredibly
yeah,
hard to
good.
watch.
That's hard to watch. I don't know about go as far as good because but it's just it's like basically mostly from like VHS recordings, like so it all feels like you're actually watching the shit, and it's probably a little bit easier to watch. Now I saw it in college. I did not really know who Michael Rooker was, but now having The Walking Dead and
Yondu.
in Yondu, people are familiar enough with him as an actor that might have less impact. And of course, having seen The Dark Knight with Michael Rooker was a crazy experience that everybody in the audience before the movie started was like, "Oh, that's the guy. That's his Portrait of a Serial Killer guy. He's scary."
Oh, really?
Nobody's ever people were saying like Portrait of a Serial Killer, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. No one said, "Oh, it's the guy from Days of Thunder."
Yeah.
No, to me, Michael Rooker's always Rowdy Burns, and he's always a sidekick from one of the best 90s action films, Cliffhanger.
All right, real quick question. Oh my God, Cliffhanger. By the way, Felk hates that. Listen to last week's episode, a Mission Impossible Fallout spoiler.
I do not hate it. I
why
said it's
Felk
fine.
doesn't like Cliffhanger.
I said it's fine.
If you're dealing with
Technically
Tom
fine.
Cruise specific movies and not Michael Rooker specific movies, but Tom Cruise specific movies, what breaks your heart more? When Rowdy no longer is able to drive the thing he loves, stock cars, or when Goose dies.
Oh, it's Goose.
Goose dying is a really traumatic scene.
no one cares about Rowdy.
Oh, come
Maybe,
on,
like-
Rowdy doesn't get to do the thing he loves anymore. That's really
I
heartbreaking.
love Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is this Michael Keaton moment where he gets to like say like, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts," and smacks a baseball bat against like the pool table and points it at him.
Oh my, wait, no, but yeah, when he's like trying to like sober him up.
You can't just also you can't just throw that at me out of context, Nolan. My concern with My concern with Cliffhanger is that the big final fight is between gigantic, powerful Sylvester Stallone in a fist fight with John Lithgow. And it's like, that's not going to be a physical threat to him. It's just like the whole time, like,
That's not what you said.
One punch should be enough.
Yeah, too many Arnold movies ended the same way.
That's in context after the whole conversation. What you said is that you just don't hold that film in essentially what you said, to break it down, was that you just don't hold that film in high regard and don't understand why
as high regard as you do.
Such high regard, not based on the final fight in Act 3.
I said it's technically fine. It doesn't instill the same like.
You said it's technically
Cliffhanger.
fine.
I don't want to spoil myself, but if we were to do a top 5 Sylvester Stallone episode, Cliffhanger would be in my top 5. I don't know where it would be, but it'd be my top
probably
5.
be in my top 5 too, just because there's not that many great Sylvester Stallone movies.
Fuck you! No way.
That's not true. There's at least 5 Rockies that should be in that top list.
No, there
Specialist.
No,
Over
how many
the top.
Arnold movies ended the same way though? Like fucking Bennett could honestly beat Arnold in a fist fight. Come on, he threw a fucking pipe through his stomach.
Yeah, but like
Bennett.
at least in precedent is like Arnold fought a predator. You know, like that's hard. Like
let off some steam.
Yeah,
Sylvester's never really fought something bigger than him in any movie. Wesley Snipes is like the most imposing thing he's fought in a movie.
maybe no Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, Dolph is huge.
I guess
Dolph's
Dolph's
6'5". Dolph's a foot taller than fucking
I guess
Stallone.
Dolph's fine, but that wasn't a fight. That was a regulated fight. That was a boxing match.
Who knows, dude? That was a fight to the death, man. He killed Apollo.
Not until the next movie. No, he'd already done it in that movie.
He did it in 3.
done
He
it.
killed Apollo in 3.
No, he killed Apollo in the beginning of 4.
Yeah, no, he
No,
killed
he
Apollo
killed
in the
Apollo
opening
in
of 4.
Yeah,
Hulk
that's the
was
opening.
3.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk was
Yeah.
no, not Hulk Hogan was 3. Mr. T was 3.
I don't know, dude. Stallone also fought Van Damme in a fist fight.
Oh yeah,
That was
Wait,
actually
Mr.
the
T was
best
3.
part
Hulk
of
Hogan's not in
Expendables
any
2.
Rocky movie.
yeah. Hogan,
Yes, he is.
Hogan's
He's
in the
in-
beginning of 3.
He's in 3.
Yeah.
He's the opening scene.
Oh, the
beginning.
opening. Okay, you're right. All right.
No, 3 is all about
Yeah.
Mr. T, but Hogan was the beginning.
Clubber
I
Lane.
forgot about that.
Hulkamania.
All right, guys. Well, let's Folk. You got copy there. Let's get into our number ones.
Cool Boy Nation, if there is a would you rather you would like us to discuss on a future podcast, please email us at thecoolboyspodcast@gmail.com.
Ooh.
Oh, I was going to say gmail.com, but I don't want to have people misdirect their emails to us. Well, cool boys, I don't think you can get a more topical would you rather than that. Time to get back to our Cool Boy show topic. As I was reading it, I was like, that doesn't apply. Oh, I'll get back to it. There, that makes sense. Because we are now
Let's get
at
back to
number 1.
T minus cool boys and counting. 3, 2, 1.
Number one.
Number
And
1.
Ballard, what is your number one?
Number 1. Whoopsh. My number 1 is, as you guessed it, Cool Boy Nation, it is Collateral.
Which was my number 5. And Felk, it was your number
4.
4.
So Felk said earlier, he's like, oh my God, I'm super original because I thought of fucking Collateral. And I literally thought the same thing last night when we came up with this during the text message thread. And I thought to myself, and I said to my wife who was sitting next to me on the couch watching TV, I was like, oh my God, babe, Collateral, I'm going to pick it as number 1. It's going to be so fucking awesome. And the guys are going to think it's so cool and they're going to love me so much. And it's going to be great because I'm going to start off with Last Samurai. So I went from Tom's first beard to Tom's greatest beard. And I said grayest beard. Oh, shit. Because I really, really fucking love Collateral. I think it's the most fuckable Tom Cruise for sure you have out there. I don't think there's a better fuckable Tom Cruise.
So you like older men.
It's not even a beard. It's a 5 o'clock shadow. It's Silver Fox. It's Silver Fox to the max. No pun intended. Pun intended. Vincent is great, and
Yes.
I think it's a fucking fantastic haircut, and it's the best hair.
It is a great haircut.
He pulls off
and because
great, just like Michael Mann ever wanted.
yeah, is his haircut in Collateral a wig or is it just dyed?
Died.
Or is it natural?
Or is that natural, Tom? Is that what you think?
No, I don't think
Yeah.
so. I think it's sprayed. Well, probably not sprayed in. Maybe just permanently dyed. It is.
But his beard had the hint of the grays. Like it's hard to dye a beard.
Yeah, but it's possible.
No, it's
I
possible.
do it every
You-
Halloween.
You can do it. It's just like spraying stuff.
Okay.
Every Halloween, what do you go as?
Steve Zissou.
Huh.
I thought you went as Tom Cruise every Halloween as this guy.
I can't pull off Vincent, but I can pull off Steve Zissou for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I have a Steve Zissou outfit I've saved from like back in 2006.
You've used it more than once?
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
That's taboo.
It stinks.
Can't do that.
It smells.
No, yeah, you can't.
You
do
can
that.
wash it.
2 times the max.
Just wash it.
But before we move on to anyone else's number one, I just want to hit on something because we haven't touched upon it. We haven't talked about it. We haven't discussed this at all. And I really thought that at some point someone was going to say something about this, but we didn't. So, Minority Report. Guys, if you go to my honorable mentions, Minority Report, Tom actually shaved his hair for Minority Report.
It did.
Now,
Which
we've
is
talked about
hardcore
this
for him.
before. We may have talked about this even in Top Buns. But look, and you can actually see shaved head Tom, but there's a paparazzi photo I found where Tom was actually wearing beanies, little Jimmy hats around because he actually shaved his head and he's cold. Tom has 0% body fat, so of course he gets cold. That is legit. Tom fucking shaved his head for Spielberg. That's impressive. Not many actors really do shave their head. You know, you get a couple actors that are maybe fortunately bald and then, you know, just have to just take off the wig. John Travolta, not talking about it. But I really love Tom Cruise's shaved head, legitimately shaved head for Minority Report.
Sure.
So, Nolan,
Minority Report, that is a generic Tom Cruise. That's a Tom stock haircut as well.
It's short. Now, that's real short. That's like Mission Impossible short.
No, it's Mission Impossible 3 short.
No,
Not quite
it's Mission
1
Impossible short.
No, it's
Minority
Mission
Report
Impossible
short.
3 short.
No, look it. I have it right here. I can send you
Actually,
the
you know
link.
what? It's pretty short, actually.
I am
It's almost a
looking at
buzz
it.
cut. It's almost a buzz cut.
It's super short.
By the way, if you type Tom Cruise MIN, it does obviously Google knows you're looking for Minority Report, but the second one below it is Minecraft skin, and I'm wondering if there's a Tom Cruise skin from Minecraft now.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to look into
that's
that.
up to
And
you.
no, I'm looking at Tom right now. There's no fucking. That's not even.
Look,
That is not Minority Report right there. Whatever you're looking at is not Minority Report.
Yeah, I banged my angle. I banged my.
that's
elbow.
how short his hair is. It's almost
It's short.
a commando mullet.
That's a bad haircut. In that
It's a
movie.
bad,
That's a bad
haircut. All right, so Noli, what's your number one?
What's your number one, Nolan?
Are you guys ready for it?
I am ready.
Because we haven't talked about it enough. We haven't talked about this enough. It's Ballard's number 3. Phil, it's not on your list. It's my favorite hair from the best Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise's hair in Mission Impossible 2.
Oh, look at some of the photos I posted.
Now I know why
There's
you wanna
one
hate
that
me.
is indicative of everything Nolan ever wanted. Noli, look at the third photo of Mission Impossible 2 with a slight cut over his cheek when he catches the knife. He's about to throw it back.
Yes, that was what picture I was going to post for you guys, but that is the quintessential Mission Impossible 2 haircut. It is perfect. The hair is always flowing in the wind when he's riding that motorcycle.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. How different Tom Cruise's hair is in Mission Impossible 2 to how his hair is in Mission Impossible 1. How different it is indicative of how different as a movie Mission Impossible 2 is to Mission Impossible 1. Mission Impossible 1, understated spy thriller, no real action sequences, at least not gun-based action sequences. Mission Impossible 2, wilder, bigger.
Yeah, you mentioned that
crazier.
in our last episode as well. That's true.
But I didn't tie it to the hair being part of the everything going in multiple directions, going and branching off, growing, expanding, because his hair is branching off and growing because it twists at the very end. It's feathered. Feathering hair is difficult for men.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I mean, Hayden Christensen, I almost said Hayden Panettiere. Hayden Christensen's hair in Revenge of the Sith is feathered. Tom Cruise's hair in Mission Impossible 2 is feathered. Farrah Fawcett's hair that everyone knows from Charlie's Angels days, that's feathered. Feathering your hair is a process where they crimp it and at the very end and then treat it. And men should be able to feather their hair.
I love how much Phil knows about this.
I love feathered hair.
Yeah, Phil, but Mission Impossible 4, his hair is 90% Mission Impossible
But it
2.
doesn't
It's
feather
not
at
quite
the end.
there.
It doesn't feather at the end.
It doesn't feather at the end, no. But
No,
it's
it
long.
curves in.
Yeah, it curves in. It's just kind of like a longer Jerry Maguire cut in Mission Impossible 4.
Mission
Exactly.
Impossible 2 has the best hair. I mean, it it matches everything, and not to just steal literally Felk's analyzations earlier, but it matches the emotions you need. In the beginning, when he is up against the rocks and he could fall, the hair falls perfectly in front of his face to show, the tensity of the scene, that he's under duress, but then it is waved back in the entire third act because he knows where he's going, he's moving forward, and he's gonna always get his mission done, even if it is impossible, because Felk, it is what? Not a difficult mission, it's not
a mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's a mission impossible.
It's a mission impossible.
Difficult should be a walk in the park for you.
Yeah, I love it, and it's perfect motorcycle hair.
Biscuit is rocking the set. It's like Russian roulette.
I feel like the film was honestly re-engineered from the perspective of, Tom, what stunts do you want to do the most in this movie? And he said, we're going to do some green screen jumping and make it seem like I'm jumping around, Shanghai or whatever the fuck it is. But I really want...
He went to Shanghai.
Stunts.
He hasn't jumped off that building.
But the jumping, a lot of that is green screen. That's a huge, giant sound stage in which they set up a real fall, still a really big fall for Tom. It was done on green screen to make it look like he was dropping into the building. But Mission Impossible 2,
and
I think
then Batman had to go to China and
with,
jump off a building for reals.
Yeah, well, eventually he got to everything he wanted, except space. But I would say with Mission Impossible 2, I think the whole film was re-engineered from literally the motorcycle sequence. I think Tom said, let's do motorcycle sequence, and then they thought, okay, what's the best hair for motorcycles? And that's when they thought,
long
hair is not the best for motorcycles.
To the neck, feathered.
Looks perfect. Because in Mission Impossible 5, his hair is a little bit shorter. It doesn't look as cool.
In real life, that hair would be going straight into your eyes and really just fucking up your eyeballs.
Yeah, but not if you're Tom Cruise. And as you mentioned, Felk, the hair's nowhere to go. It's the third act. Yeah. He's moving forward. He's being constantly blasted by the plot, and he's pushing through it like it's a force by a Jedi. But
when he goes on a wheelie and his hair's just perfectly flowing in the wind, and he just pulls out a gun and 10 different shots from 10 different angles, and just his hair's all over the place and looks fabulous.
He shoots people behind him. But Nolan, you mentioned in our Top Buns episode, the best Tom Cruise entrance ever is, in fact, if I recall, your number 2, Days of Thunder, when he goes through the smoke or the mist or the fog or whatever the fucking essence is that he drives through to be able to expose himself to the audience, and they fucking shows up and lets everyone know, I'm fucking Cole Trickle and I'm here.
Who is this driver?
I also think that the end of Act 3 is also fucking sweet of Mission Impossible 2. When he fucking drives through the fucking fire in slow-mo and not one strand of his hairs catches on fire.
I thought
he just fucking slow-mo motorcycle rides through fire in Mission Impossible 2. Now, it's not an introduction.
I mentioned
but it is one of his coolest drive-through moments ever.
I mentioned the Internet Movie Firearms Database earlier in this podcast, and one of the memorable things I specifically noted was I thought Mission Impossible 2 was very ridiculous with its gunplay, and some of it is. But apparently a shot in that movie where he uses the rearview mirror of the motorcycle to aim his shot backwards from his gun was actually taught by the gun's former Navy SEAL military advisors. All right, here's how you shoot, Tom. Here's how you would shoot somebody behind you on a motorcycle. And so apparently that's an accurate technique of how you would use a rearview mirror of a motorcycle. Tom got it right.
Tom is the best.
Wow. I wouldn't think about that, driving a motorcycle to shoot. I probably would just do the movie way and just look back and shoot.
But then you'd crash. So he's keeping one eye on the road and one eye on his gun.
Yeah, because
rearview mirror.
Anyone that rides a motorcycle knows the bike goes whatever direction you're looking. So yes, you would crash.
Tom's
not Tom. Yeah, so Tom knows what he was doing. That's the proper way to do it.
Yeah, he did it. He figured it out.
Perfect. I mean, Felk, Mission Impossible 2, it's perfect hair. How could you be better? What do you have?
My number 1 is a haircut that actually changed me and altered my pathway moving into sixth grade.
This is everything.
Yes, this is everything. Baby boy Felk.
It was the end of my actually it was the end of my 5th grade year of life. Mission. No, that was my number 2. I saw the movie. Came out in May of '96. Mission Impossible. And I saw Tom Cruise. And there's a specific scene. You're right. It's a military crew cut. But here's the thing: get a military crew cut from Visible Changes at a mall in Houston, Texas, and you will not end up looking like Tom Cruise. Because I saw that movie, and there's a particular shot when he has the shroud, the little mask thing that he has to wear in order to talk to Vanessa Redgrave, who plays Max, is pulled off his hair.
Or is it Maxine?
Yeah, he has it pulled right off his head, and he kind of does like a little. His hands are still tied, but he like corrects his hair just by moving his neck. He has this because his hair was kind of matted down, and his hair just kind of pops up because I had no idea. So it's do you either know what the actual like term for that type of haircut is?
Sexy.
It's a military.
Sexy.
It's a military scissor cut. Is what you would ask for if you wanted that cut. And I learned this because I was, like I said, would have been like almost 13, 12 years old, and I saw that movie. I followed the plot, but I couldn't keep my eyes off Tom's hair. I had a shitty haircut, and I wanted a cool haircut. So the following week, I'm at the mall. I think I saw it the second time that very week after reading the novelization, just so I could understand the plot. And my mom she gives me money to go to Visible Changes. I don't know if they have Visible Changes in this part of America.
No,
never saw it.
Never heard of
Visible Changes is a haircut place. It's in malls. It's a little bit better than Supercuts. Not as good as a true salon, but in Texas, things are a lot more chain and rural. Anyways, so I go in, I got my appointment. My mom's not there. I get to tell the haircut person all the haircut stuff myself. Usually my mom would do it. And I was like, oh my God, I get to do it myself. So I tell the lady, and unfortunately, I get a lady from, I believe, the Dominican Republic who barely spoke English. And I tell her, I want Tom Cruise's haircut from Mission Impossible. She's like, no, see Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise, no. But thankfully, there's a gay guy right next to her who's also cutting hair. And I add that in for flavor, but from that point on, I would only go to salons and only get my hair cut by men. And obviously that means gay men, because that's the only men who cut hair.
I cut my son's hair.
From that point moving on. And he had seen Tom Cruise. He had seen Mission Impossible. He was familiar with the Tom Cruise haircut. So he's like, oh, it's a military scissor cut. So he was trying to explain to her how to do it. But that still didn't work, because even though he knew the terms, she didn't speak the English. And I go, here, like, I'm like, here, I can show you. I'm like 13. I'm like, come look. And there's a poster right outside in the mall, right outside the Visible Changes in the mall. And unfortunately, the poster for Mission Impossible is just Tom sideways, silhouette.
Yes.
So you only
Perfect
get like
poster.
a silhouette of his face. But I'm like, see, that's the length, and that's how it needs to look. She goes, no, I cannot see from picture. It's too dark. I cannot. So I'm like, all right, I've got somebody who knows exactly what the haircut is, trying to explain it to her. I'm trying to show her a picture. She cannot do it. She starts to cut, and she just obviously fucks it up, completely gets it wrong. I get out of my chair. And I go straight to the front desk, and I go, can I speak to the manager? And he's like, why? He's like, because you gave me a person to cut my hair who doesn't even speak English in America, and this is a problem, and I'm trying to get Tom Cruise's haircut for Mission Impossible. I'm 12.
I don't believe this story.
I'm trying to get Tom Cruise's haircut for Mission Impossible, and you gave me an idiot who can't even understand the basic words, even though there's someone right next to her who knows how to explain it to her. And as I turn around, my mom is there, and she's just walking in to check on me, thinking the haircut would be done by now. And she goes, I cannot believe you just talked to that poor woman like that. And the manager immediately goes, you need to speak to you in the back. We'll get you someone else. And my mom pulls me out, and she says, you're not getting a haircut today. You're going to have to deal with your half haircut. At which, I mean, it didn't last, because like after I go to school, like on a Monday, she's like, all right, I'll get you a real haircut. And I got the guy who knew, specifically at the same Visible Changes, I requested the guy who knew the haircut, and I managed to get it. And I was still somewhat disappointed, because I was still fat, and I'd told that like my face was fat. So even with Tom Cruise's hair, the hair was the wrong color, and my face was not Tom Cruise chiseled. But I at least got the haircut right. And from that point on, I was like, okay, never again will I get a haircut from a woman who is clearly just getting by on the fact that she has big tits. Don't let like attractive face get in the way of this person doesn't know how to do their job. And I was right.
Good for you.
And I learned an important lesson from that Visible Changes in the First Colony Mall in Houston, Texas.
I'm sorry.
If the poster was like a straight on, like well lit of his hair, I would have been fine. But because the image was like black and white in a silhouette of his face, there wasn't enough information for her to go on.
Too
she
hard
couldn't
to
speak
read.
English well enough to understand the words of
Too
how
hard.
to give a cut like that. So it's just like, oh man, it's like you got to be able to speak English.
Well, folk, I'm glad you realized that gay men cut the best hair.
Oh yeah. Shout out to
Hi, I'm Chaz Dean.
Hi, I'm Chaz Dean.
Chaz Dean. Shout out to Chaz Dean.
yeah. Shout out to the hairstylist I would get
Hi, I'm Chaz Dean.
Hi, I'm Chaz Dean.
that year, David from the Agostino Salon next in the Galleria or next to the Galleria. He was excellent. He cut my hair from like age like 13 to like 18 when I left for college. He transitioned from
Galleria.
Every haircut was like, I want this person's haircut from a movie. I want this person's haircut from a movie. He knew the movie. He gave me the cut. And then in 2005, shortly after graduating, I needed a haircut while I was visiting my parents. And I found out that David had died of AIDS.
No way! Wow.
But he gave me the
that's
Tom
it.
Cruise haircut for a long time.
He died of AIDS? Legitimate AIDS?
Yeah.
That's the end of the episode. That's it.
Well, that was the best show topic we have ever done. Got Tommy on my brain, Tommy on my dick, and the greatest gaping asshole you've just gotta lick.
Ooh.
Got that hole pulled so wide, son. Calling all Tommies. Fuck me good and make me cry for mommy. Oh. Well, back to Tommy Cruise is what I always say. No episode is complete without jacking off to Days of Thunder in its entirety. And guess what? That's what I've been doing. Watching Tom, watching me ripping my TH cock to hell.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, I'm gay, so what? Hello, Tom, let's fuck. Dicks, bulges, ball sack, but not hair.
Yes.
No beards.
Cool Tom Nation, tell us about any of your top 5 Tom Cruise hair stories. Any of you, Cool Tom Nation, tell us about any of your
Plural.
top 5 Tom Cruise hairs stories. Also, if you have any questions or any more insight into our top 5 Tom Cruise hairs, then let us know by cruising us at thecoolboyspodcast at gmail.com. Tom episodes come out every Tom's Day. Like us on iToms, UTom, Sound Cruise, Tom.
No. Just okay, never mind. There's
And
variations
Face
later.
Cruise. And please rate and Tom us as well. You can also donate to us on Patreon and receive additional Tom tint like Cool Boys After Tom. Wait, Cool Tom After Cruise and commentaries. It only costs a fuck and you'll receive special access to my butthole and new content too hot to air. You can find the Cool Toms on Patreon at patreon.com/coolboyspodcast. Well, at least we got that one correct.
Yep.
And please check out our other great Cool Tom Central content with Tom in and Beyond, a Cool Tom podcast on TomTube, SoundCloud, TomCloud, Google Tom, and Patreon, where the Cool Toms have an uncensored discussion about Tom Cruise, the animated series. The weird thing is, I would absolutely have watched Tom Cruise, the
I
animated
want to see
series.
that. I want to see that show.
Yeah. Tom Cruise
Everything
animated series, I wanna
cruising
see
from
this
Tom Tips to Tom Nips and all the boners Tom has given us.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Thank you for cruising with us. Stay cruise, Tom. Wait, thank you for cruising with us. Stay cruise, Cool Tom Nation.
Wow.
Until next time, it's Cruisies from Tom Felk.
That's Cruisies from Tom Ballard.
And that's Cruisies from Tom Nolly.
So Cruise.
Yeah.
Great.
Were you gay enough that episode?
No, we don't need to be gay enough every episode.
You outstanding American boy.
You have excelled in all things.
I pump while I dump. Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Oh, yeah.
This episode of the Cool Boys podcast was brought to you by
Higher.
Get some
Cool Boys.
so serious.